We now return to coverage from the European Disc Golf Championships. Viewers might recognize the commentary crew from earlier shows. These are the cats behind the Central Coast disc golf videos we've featured many times.
This one's 564 feet, par 4, OB left and right. And it's just a really tight fairway.
Oh yeah, especially down towards the end there.
Big risk reward on if you really want to throw a driver or maybe a mid-range. And it looks like Yuho threw a mid-range right there. Just
keeping it safe.
Yep, keeping it inbounds and throwing straight. Seppo taking a pretty good run. Ooh, taking a hyzer line. Yeah. See if he can get this come back in bounds. And getting the good flag here. Yep.
Nice.
It's always nice when you have the flag guys, the spotters, you know, letting you know if your day's been ruined or not.
They can crush your dreams sometimes, so
They really can.
just wave that red flag in your face.
Yep. Simon taking the same line as Seppo. Looks like he hung it way out there.
Yeah.
He just bombed that.
Come back in.
He did.
There you go.
Wow. Really cool shot from Simon. Yuho with a second shot. See the basket off to the left-hand side of the fairway down there?
Out around those trees.
And he takes his hyzer on the second shot. Oh.
Still in bounds.
Yep. Posse. Is he to go straight at it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, throwing a little turnover mid.
See, that's that one a little high.
Yeah.
Fade off a little bit.
Seppo after that. That hyzer line looks nice on the drive. I'm liking that.
Yeah.
Got him pretty far down the fairway. And he's just laid up for a bird. Gosh, look at Simon's drive. Absolutely crushed. And has this for a second shot. Kind of an interesting stance he left himself, though. Ooh. God, those Annies will cut roll.
Yeah.
They don't fade out.
Ooh, that's a little bit of a putt.
Yeah, and kind of putting towards OB and some brush as well if it doesn't make it.
Well time.
Oh. Yuho with his birdie putt?
It's a bummer. It's another stroke loss to Seppo and probably the rest of the card.
Yeah. So Posse from the woods. Oh my gosh. Almost made that. Yuho for a 4. Nice par save.
Right in there.
Yep. He makes the ones he should, you know?
Yeah.
And Seppo getting another stroke on the card actually right here. Card and a bird. Posse's going to tap in a 4 along with Simon.
Seppo's liking that. He's
Yeah.
got, what, 4 holes left?
4 holes left. 2-stroke lead. Bringing us to hole 15. 597-foot par 4. OB far right, which hopefully shouldn't come into play. And Seppo has the box after carding that bird. He's throwing a huge sky Annie, Garrett.
A lot of power behind that one.
Wow. Yeah, he got down there.
Yeah. Fell down in the open.
Yep, that's pretty much all you can hope for when you're throwing a bomb like that. Yuho's taking a lower line. Looks like he got out there. He says meh.
Meh. It's okay.
Yeah.
Not mad, not happy.
Yeah. Posse with his pull. Also taking the lower line that Yuho took.
Getting it out there.
And Simon's like, yeah.
I can take that big one.
Yeah. Huge Sky Annie shot. Oh. Did not get the fade at the end he needed.
Pretty risky shot then if you have that risk of going OB.
Yeah. I wonder if he's taking chances down by 2 at 4,
Yeah.
you know? God, that was just a huge throw, though. So Posse's second. Basket's off and then to the right of the dark area. There it is.
And I skip up there.
Yeah.
He likes it.
The crowd likes it. Yep.
Everybody does.
Yeah, pretty good gallery.
Yeah.
After watching this. So Simon's third after the OB stroke.
Good shot.
Yep, just laying up for 4. Seppo has a tough look on his second shot here.
Give himself the opportunity to take another stroke of on Simon.
Yep, insurance stroke. Wow. That was a straight forehand.
Laser.
Yeah, really, really buttery.
Butter.
Super smooth. Posse tapping in the bird. Simon's going to come tap in his par. And a Yuho and a Seppo. Card and birds as well.
That was a cool hole. I'd say that's a legitimate par 4.
Yeah,
Sure.
it was, definitely. Right on. Seppo's stretching his lead to 3 with 3 to play. Putting the pressure on Simon. He's got to do some work now or never. And Yuho, too, actually. They're both tied.
Yeah.
Seppo's up first, and it's another Skyani shot.
You got knocked down?
It looked like it, right?
Yeah.
Yuho's pull. He got it way up
you
there.
go. It's probably closer to what Seppo was looking for.
Yeah. Even kind of cut rolled towards the basket there at the end. See the gap they're trying to hit right there.
Yeah, it's pretty far out there.
It really is, yeah. And
Heiser flipping something so you get that late turnover.
Mm-hmm. Simon just absolutely crushed that.
Simon's trying to get there in one.
He is, isn't he? Wow.
It's a monster throw.
He finished pin high. Unreal. So Seppo, after the tree kick, still getting pretty close.
Yeah.
Give him a look for a 3. Posse, after a nice drive, just has this for an up and down for a 3.
Nice.
Should be no problem. Yuho just laying up for a 3 as well.
Simon's got to have a putt at this thing.
He does, right?
Oh, in the bushes, huh?
Yeah, or that or around the bushes. All I could do is lay up. Faded just a little early.
Yep.
Would have been parked. So Seppo to keep that lead. Oh,
Ooh.
misses. Simon and Yuho are going to get a stroke on him. Posse does as well.
All these guys are playing pretty solid. Not a lot of mistakes out of them.
Yeah, you're not seeing any short putt misses or, really bad upshots when they should be parking it. Yeah. Really solid games all around. So Seppo taps in the par, loses a stroke to everybody. Simon and Yuho, 2 back, 2 to go. Hole 17, 210-foot par 3. Downhill, shorty. OB if you go super long. But
Just got to hit your gap.
mm-hmm. So Yuho opting for the standstill there.
Paid off.
Oh, parked. Posse's pull.
Looks pretty good, too.
Mm-hmm. Nice little friendly tree kick right there. Never hurt.
Simon throws a spike hyzer around everything.
Yeah, right. Ooh.
A little long.
I think he was ace running it.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, there's only one way to catch up.
Yep.
Seppo up last. Oh. A little too much
Shanked a little
on that
bit,
one.
yeah. Well, Simon's the big putt.
Yeah, it is. Put the pressure on.
Get it. Oh, what'd that bounce off of?
A little sniper branch or something. That looks so good. Seppo, this pretty much seals the deal. Well, I guess Yuho could still make a birdie and be 1 back. Oh, and he doesn't do that. Posse to Carter Bird.
Is he done? He's got a bunch.
Yeah, doesn't he? Yeah. Yuho for his birdie. Parked right there, no problem. And Simon and Seppo are going to come tap in their pars. I believe Seppo's lead is down to 1 over Yuho now.
Oh, yeah.
And Simon is 1 back of that. And that's going to bring us to hole 18, 807-foot par 5. Par 5
hole.
gives you some time to do some work here.
Yeah.
Especially with all the OB off to the right. And Yuho is up first, throwing Annie.
Turn that quite a bit.
Ooh. You see that kick off the fence right there? Super cool. Posse's throw. Also headed towards the fence. Are he throwing a roller?
Almost looked like it. Yeah,
Yeah,
he is.
He got it down.
Yeah.
Oh.
Stay bounds.
OB.
See how far Simon throws this one?
Yeah, right.
Him and Seppo both will probably
Throw
launch him.
about a mile.
Yeah.
But you gotta wonder if Seppo's gonna play a little safe with the one-stroke lead.
Probably.
Yeah. Simon just booms it out there, Garrett.
Yeah, it looks like that wasn't really fading too much.
No.
Yeah, still have 3 more throws.
Yep, in the fairway, and it's not out of bounds. You're right about Seppo. He bombed it out there. I wonder if he's going to stay in bounds. Oh, he's throwing a roller as well. But
Yeah. Hits the fence and stays safe.
yep. Yuho's second, hanging out over the OB. Ooh.
Get back in. Oh, man.
Super close. Simon's second. And he's trying to get...
Yeah, should we go park that for an eagle?
yeah.
Nice.
That's pretty much par for Simon.
I'm sure Seppo has something similar too.
Yeah. It's looking pretty nice. Maybe a little short, but it's doing work.
Forward skip.
Oh, take it back. Pin high, just a little
Yep.
left. Nice up. So Posse with his third after taking the OB stroke for rolling that way.
Nice shot.
Really nice up shot. Still carding a bird with an OB stroke.
Not bad.
Nope. Yuho's up shot.
Go in.
Oh my gosh.
Safe. Nice backdrop there for him.
Yeah. Seppo just laying up.
Laying up for the win.
Yep, he knows he has it. So Simon for an eagle and give him second place.
Yep.
And he takes it. Or at least ties right now. So Yuho, oh, this is for a fifth. So Simon
Yep, Simon took.
took second place. Yuho taking third with that putt. And Posse has this for birdie and finished fourth. Nice work.
There you go. Nicely done.
Yep.
Good play from everybody. Simon had a couple errant shots that probably cost him it, but overall everybody played pretty well.
Yeah, and there's your 2014 European Championships champion,
Yeah.
Seppo Padre.
Congratulations.
Yeah, really nice work. Kid has some talent, Garrett.
Yeah. That was fun to watch.
Yeah, a lot of really good throwers, really good players. Whoa!
Oh no! It really was windy out there.
I guess so. No fooling. But there they are, guys. And thanks for watching. And we'll catch you around.
And the winner, 2014 Open Champion, Zealand, Seppo Padre.
For our final segment, we return to SpinTV's coverage of the 2014 Japan Open, a tournament so grand it only happens every other year.
This tournament compared to other tournaments, how does fatigue factor in?
It was very tiring, you know, with the time changes and the playing all day and the weather. Even as a young man, I struggled with it, but as an old man coming to this tournament, I could see that it takes a passion of a 20-year-old to stay in it.
Yeah, it's definitely something that, you know, disc golfers, you have to have stamina to play in this tournament and in these conditions. You can see it on the faces.
So
of
see,
everybody.
Paul, this is why I think Paul's #1 in the world right now. You see the consistency? He mimicked his line within a foot. And why I'm still able to hang with the kids is I could still mimic his line within a foot. And we were able to throw very similar shots on the same hole.
And that's just a signature Paul Macbeth hyzer that he, like you said, he's able to mimic. And you're looking at that line and said, okay, let's go. Let's get it.
Now, let's see, these are why Nico is one of the best, him and Ricky, is that after those poor shots the first time through, look, easy adjustment for a top professional.
And tell me about that. So you see somebody who is throwing so consistent, and you need to make that adjustment. As a professional, you know, what do you tell yourself? How do you pep yourself up to say, okay, I can do that better?
Well, because with us, we don't do distances. Most of us, we do by feel. So if he was 30 right, like they were last time, they can just feel, they can feel that change and make that change on the next shot. And if you let us play a hole twice in a row like this, most of the top 10 in the world will be able to make easy adjustments and get closer to the basket.
And I brought this up earlier in one of the previous videos that I call it the 4-digit separator. When if you have to make these particular shots and you're worried about it, you know, you're worried about the tight OB, or you're worried about having to throw the same shot you already threw, you're probably not 1,000 rated. But the 1,000 rated guys, they look at that as an opportunity.
Yeah, craving. If I only get to play a hole once and I miss it, I'm upset. I want to play a tournament where I get to play a hole more than once so I can make that adjustment, and then I can still shoot under on that hole.
And that's a great little bit of advice. We're going to finish up hole 18. We've got one more round to make. We're going to go back to hole 1.
Very interesting that we're going back to hole 1 again. I've never done this. You know, I've been in Final Nines all over the world, and at first I was a little, I don't know about this, but it was kind of interesting. It was enjoyable. We played, you know, the gallery got to watch us the whole time, and like you said, I was able to get better and better on the holes as we went by.
And you get to repeat that shot. You get to try new lines, push it a little further.
Paul can't get off the tee here. This hole has got his number. Look at him. You can see, you never see him like that. It's really got his number.
It was tough. Paul, not somebody who usually shows a whole lot of emotion during a round, and you could tell he was frustrated all day during the 5th round and during the final 9 with what was happening. But, you know, you got to keep playing through it, and let's talk about that. You know, how do you keep yourself in it? You know there's not a lot of time left. You've just got to power through it. What are you telling yourself?
You're telling yourself, keep throwing your best shots, dig deep. You know, you're here for a reason. So show the crowd what you're made of, and hopefully it'll be your time. And like Ricky right there, you can see he relaxed after the last couple holes after making that birdie, and he launched his longest drive on this hole right down the center, and he made the adjustment that needed to be if you're going to win the tournament.
And there's a big difference when you come down to these last few holes and having only a couple stroke lead and having that nice cushion. It definitely takes something off your mind. Oh, there's a nice dodge by the spectator right there, and not get hit by the disc.
Paul was just trying to get safe. I don't think he wanted to be in the bunker again. And this is one of the better shots I saw out of Nico for the final 9. You know, I know he made a lot of nice putts, but to keep a 150 this long in the air and stalling like this and not go OB, fantastic play.
That's definitely a professional level shot right there. You could see the extended follow through in order just to keep that disc from hyzering and put it just long enough to have a putt.
Ricky was really playing smart and safe, and his disc was getting great skips out of that short grass. He was playing it smart. I tried to adjust, you know, throw it a little shorter than last time so I didn't have to make a 35-footer, and I hit a great right there. There's a little hole. I hit it, I landed in it. You see it there where Paul's at, and I skipped off it.
Paul's going to lay up and put it.
And it rolls over the hill, which was really surprising. Now he's facing up, making a putt for a 5, and this hole's just really eating at him. Ricky wants to put it away right now for the 3.
And that's a really common design element of these courses, is putting the pins up on these little undulations where you've got to really pay attention to how your disc lands. So tell me a little bit about that challenge.
Well, you can see as Nico airballed it there, it puts a pressure on every shot. If you don't hit metal, you're in trouble. And here I can't get my left foot on the ground. I'm trying to putt off one leg uphill. Very difficult. I lifted my body and went too high. So the challenge of those hills is difficult, and I think Paul's feeling the pressure here. This is big putt for him. I think if he doesn't make this, which he does, he could have trouble finishing the 9.
And that's one of those just moments where you know the guy's a 2-time world champion for a reason, because he can have a mistake and he can come back and make a great putt to combo.
It was clutch right in the heart. And Nico right here, unbelievable. You know, he missed that putt the first time around, and that was for a 3. This was for a 4. It seems like he puts a little pressure on himself for the birdie, but there he knows he has to make it, and he comes through.
And Ricky's going to tap in for his 4. All he has to do is par out to win. I mean, tell me about being in that mental position. You just have to par to win. Is that more pressure or is that less pressure?
It's more pressure because the way, like you said, with these hills and all the OBs, I had that position and I was just trying to get pars, and those discs will get up and walk away out there and they'll roll into bunkers and you'll have to make putts.
You definitely find some unexpected skips, rolls, trickles, things like that they react very differently than their max weight counterparts. It would be very interesting to see this tournament played with 175
oh
max
my
weight
God.
discs.
I don't know. I think that the disc would go so far down those mountains we might never find them again.
Especially with some of the power that all these guys have.
Again, he won't let go of it in the middle, and he's playing these extra safe shots. This time, he gets down there a little further.
He's been about the same position that he was last time as they approach hole 2 once again. And Ricky's going to correct.
Oh, beautiful adjustment. I mean, this is where you know that the tournament's over in my mind.
And he really has nailed that high hyzer flip breakover to fade. And you can see that the distance he's getting on his drives is top caliber even for, you know, this level of player.
Yeah, I mean, I'm doing my best to get just behind him. I'm following him around. He's now got the line. He's the player I'm following now. And I think this is the moment for Paul McBeth in the 9. And he nuts it.
That's
right down
perfect.
the center.
And that's a great adjustment. You see everybody else take a very high route, and he pins it right in the middle, a little lower, getting it to the ground, staying where you want to be, looking at the hill from the right angle on your
Doesn't it
upshot.
look like Nico's made the adjustment this time and thrown it even further, so he's going to be right under it this time, right? Again, not even close. It's such deception.
The par 4 challenges and the sucker pins have really got, they take a lot out of you. And tell me about that mentally. So twice in a row, you're throwing that shot, and it's just not getting there. You know, do you make the adjustment, or do you just tell yourself keep throwing?
Just keep throwing, because you know that if you juice up too much there, it's OB. So he'd rather be short. And just like with me here, I'm facing it. I have to hit a little tiny gap, and I nick the leaves out. And I know it's short, but short's safe, and long is real bad.
And that's a great shot out of there. The trees were in the line, and you just had to find that little window and get it out safe.
And this is how you knew Rick is going to win. Look, he's underplayed it, but with the perfect angle, so it rolls right up to the pin.
That's a great little skip roll up there, just making his putt a little bit easier. Getting a little more confidence going into these last couple holes.
The layup.
More layups. A lot of layups this weekend.
So he just made this putt from maybe 10 feet or closer last time around. And I thought maybe he'd put this in. Put a lot of pressure on him, but he got a bad break roll away here. But it's stuck.
Should be no problem for Nico the way he's been putting.
I thought if I don't make this putt right here, this is what I was thinking, I have no chance to get anything but fourth, so I got to put this in even if there's a cliff behind it.
It's a big opportunity, and you know that's another reason why you're a world champion. That's a great putt. Putting it right in the chains.
All week I laid those up to get in to make the finals, and that was my first attempt to try to make one. I was surprised to win it myself.
And everybody's going to tap in right here, and we're going to go on to the last 2 holes. Holes we've seen before. Another par 4. If you don't remember, it's 185 meters, 606 feet long. You've got the cart path that's going to play OB, and my bet is we're going to see Nico throw another roller here.
Yeah, I am going to be surprised if he throws a roller here in my mind at this point when we're driving down the cart. I'm thinking, what are they going to do on this hole? How do I have to play it? Me and Climo are talking as he's my caddy, and he's saying, get the 4, and you'll have a chance to get, third. That's what we're thinking. So, again, I put it right down the middle. I really had this drive figured out.
You just got to put it right in the middle, play it safe, and then get up and down on that tight green, and then you have the opportunity for a 3, but you can play it short of the rock, have a pitch over, and still look at a 4 very easily.
Ricky here switches to the forehand, and in my mind, he was saying, I'm not pulling a Feldberg from 2010. You won't beat me. I'll take a 4 from this side. I'm not taking a 5 from the other.
And he definitely gets a little fortunate roll out of those trees. It looked like it was penetrating and then just backspun right out, and that's the moments when you know it's your tournament to win, and you just got to go out and take it.
So now he overturns it, and I think he's made another mistake, but it hops over the road, and finally he gets it to work out for him. And this is a big play for him. If that doesn't work out, I don't think he finishes second.
And that is a great play. He was practicing it all. He hit the cart path in the 5th round, and then didn't get it overturned on the first time around, and he finally corrects and gets that shot.
And if you notice in Paul here, he's throwing the last few drives really low. He's going to make sure he's in bounds now. He feels the opportunity that he just has to keep it in bounds and play smart shots, and he's going to be able to stay in his position or move up.
You can definitely see that his focus has shifted. The style of shots that he's throwing has shifted. He's playing for position. You're playing for position.
This
so
shot
this
to
is
me,
the battle.
he closed me right here. That was the shot over the rock. Pretty AVR shot up the middle. I have nothing to say other than great shot. I reached for my Cenas. I gave it my best effort, and I put it up high so it had a chance to at least make land. And as designed, rolls back into the bunker. Wasn't a good enough shot.
And that's a tough green right there. We've been talking about it all tournament, and it's definitely been a position decider coming down
Nico
this stretch.
clutches up right here. This disc, he clutched up all weekend, this black disc, and again, he's clutched right up to the basket. And both of them just closed me out right there and said, we'll battle for second.
All right, Ricky's just going to lay up here, like we said, just play par golf.
Gonna have 5 for the last hole, 4 for the last hole. He's smiling now. Now we got him smiling. Now I have this OB here. I know I'm OB. In my mind, I'm OB. But I'm just trying to make a precedent. A lot of people push the rules this weekend about where the grass goes into the bunker, and I just want to make a precedent for the future that we have to start not believing that way and just see the integrity of lines and play them as OBs.
And I can see you're upset on that, and that's that putt you just wanted to make.
Yeah, I just wanted to say to the people, I'll take my OB, but let's all start taking our OBs and play by the game and self-govern ourselves a little more.
And
the future.
Nico's going to hit his putt. These should be tap-ins right here. And there's really not a whole lot left to do but shake hands and say good round. I mean, what are your overall thoughts on this tournament, and are you looking forward to 2016?
Oh yes, I'm looking forward to 2016. This was my first year competing with the Latitude brand on the products at this tournament, and they performed well for me, but I need more experience with them, just like I did it. I came here the first time with the Nova, I took 4th, and then I moved up to 1st, and I'm hoping that I can, reach for that in 2016, probably my last year to play Open without a Masters next to my name.
And it's definitely been a long grinder tournament. Are you a fan of tournaments that have this many rounds packed that tight, or
when I was the 3 of their age, I wanted more golf. The more golf meant more skill meant I'd win in the end. But as I get younger, I prefer the 1 round a day setup.
The 1 round a day setup is traditional in disc golf and in golf as well, but sometimes you also don't want to travel to Japan, pay all this money, and not get to play a lot.
Interesting how Nico has 2 strokes here. He just played it to the right and said, I'm getting second. I don't care, Paul. I'm sure you're going to park it, so I'm getting second no matter what.
And it's just like that. Sometimes you have to make that strategy adjustment, pick your position, realize that somebody else is going to take the tournament.
All I had left was to throw an ace for the crowd with a Latitude disc, and I thought I'd give it a shot. Oh, that was close, I thought.
He took it was a little bit long on the backside, but it was a great line nonetheless. And gonna have a look for ending on a birdie. And you want to end on a birdie. You want to leave Japan with a good thought in your mind.
Now, we talked about that shot he threw there. During practice, I said, Ricky, anything to the right's a W. It's a W. And every time we threw a practice shot that landed not in the bunker, that's a W, he said.
That's a W.
And so he did it. He played the smart layup, and I'm proud of the kid.
Yeah, he's gonna lay up here, and just like earlier in the year, gonna get that.
Ooh, that wind's tough.
Putt. That wind is tough. You're looking at, looks like a left to right, so a right to left from your perspective.
Only person to birdie 18 3 times, Paul there.
Paul, and that hurts when the other time through he just took that unfortunate roll into the bunker. But that's why it's been a battle. That's why it's been a great season to watch with a lot of great players playing a lot of fantastic golf.
Yeah, I mean, the level right now is really high. If you don't come out and make all your putts, I didn't see Ricky miss but 1 putt in 3 rounds. In the last 3 rounds on the final 9. So if you're not making them all, you're not winning right now.
Yeah, let's talk about that. I mean, you've been on tour for a number of years now. You've seen players come and go. You've seen the levels change. What is it like competing against these kids nowadays versus, when you were first getting on the tour?
Well, when I was first getting on the tour, if you got hot with your putter and you had the driving skills of these kids like some of us did, you knew you won. Now you come to that card and there's 3 others who are doing the same thing that weekend. And it's got to get scary. Some of them had skills that they just could focus on, and I knew I could get past it on certain courses, but they opened their minds, and many of them, like Ricky, let me work on his backhand. Nico had me work on his, spin putt. Stuff like that added things to their games where now they can score from every direction. They score side arm, backhand, putting, rollers. I mean, they're the complete package. I consider them the next generation of maybe it went Climo went to me, and then I added some things to the game, and now it's being passed from Avery's and the Dosses and me down to this generation. And they've added so much to their skill levels that if you want to be a top pro these days, you better learn all the shots and all the different angles.
It's definitely more crowded at the top, and like you're saying, these guys are complete players that it's very hard to find flaws. You've just got to kind of make it your weekend when you get the opportunity.
And that's how golf's at. You look at a golf tournament, they're all within 10 strokes. It should be about the best in the world and someone having a good weekend. And it's still a pleasure for me to be able to stand here with these young gentlemen on the screen. There's not so many more moments like this, and the opportunity to be seen with these young kids and be a part of it. I understand how Climo felt back then when I was a kid.
Well, definitely, it's been a pleasure to watch this tournament. It's a pleasure to have you come and lend your insight, man. Thank you for stopping by.
Thanks, James. I look forward to it, and keep watching Spin TV.
That's right. Keep it locked. We've still got more videos to come from Japan. This will wrap up our tournament coverage, but we got a couple extra featurettes you don't want to miss. This is Jamie Thomas, Dave Feldberg saying sayonara from the land of the rising sun.
It's time to wrap this episode up. Thanks to the folks at SpinTV and LCGM8 for sharing their productions. And thanks to the PDGA for supporting Disc Golf Live. Thanks also to the folks who schlep our shows to their local stations for broadcast. Until next time, drive carefully.